You've tuned in to the Top 10 Garden Show with garden expert Ken Lain. Join the conversation daily as he answers timely garden questions. Email Ken a question directly from your phone to his desktop through the web at watersgardencenter.com. That's Waters with 2 T's, gardencenter.com. Or visit face-to-face throughout the week where he can be found at Waters Garden Center in Prescott. Now welcome your host, Ken Lain.
So as you can imagine, a garden center. So I'm recording this from Waters Garden Center. I've got a studio here at the garden center in my office, set up just so I can be more proactive, be more in tune, just kind of react, invite guests to get interviews while they're here at the garden center. It's helpful for me. It's more efficient for my time. This show broadcasts throughout northern Arizona, and I pre-record it as though it's live on Friday, the day before, and then it broadcasts Saturdays and Sundays and on podcasts. So it kind of gets chopped up because it's on a lot of different radio stations. And it's gaining steam. So the podcast, I can't believe how many people are listening to podcasts or live streaming. And so I'm just trying to feed into that, trying to be trendy, trying to keep up. And so I've got a studio right here, game changer. And so what we're finding is this year at the garden center, here at least Waters Garden Center, the birds were just everywhere this year. I don't know what happened, but we had more birds, more hummingbirds specifically. Actually, more every kind of bird, but hummingbirds were noticeable. And we've got a couple babies out there. And I don't know what it is, but they're hanging. They grew up with gardeners coming into the garden center. And they're tame. I mean, you could almost pet some of these, or you can go right up to them, take a picture. I mean, I've got a little baby hummingbird in the back greenhouse, the annual house. And it's a male, got a beautiful red throat. He's decided, this is my home. These are my flowers. These are my people. And so he loves the Pentas and the Lantana, which they are a favorite of hummingbirds and butterflies. So the pollinators they dearly, dearly love Penta flowers and Lantana flowers. And we've got a whole lot of colors. I can't seem to notice what flavor they like or what color. He seems to like them all. And he's got a couple of buddies who kind of hang out in there too. But if you're coming in, make sure if you come to the parking lot, go through the lower greenhouse, go past the big outdoor resort sized pots, and then go to that upper greenhouse where all the edible fruits, the fruit trees, the berries, and the flowers are, and take a look. We're trying to name him right now. I'm voting for Clarice, but other folks have other names for him. But he's so tame. Take a picture. Hashtag Waters Garden Center. But it's just a fun to see the babies be so tame to gardeners here at the garden center. They're just surrounded all the time. It's kind of really, really fun. If you like hummingbirds, I'm also finding in my own gardens, I always plant pentas, and I have several large clusters of Lantana because I'm trying to attract. I'm a flower gardener myself. That's my thing. I love going out and in the morning, sipping tea or coffee and deadheading my flowers. It's therapy for me. I've got an illness called gardening. I don't like gardening, and I like flower gardening because it's therapeutic. It just makes me feel good. And then I actually garden for the birds. And so I'm trying to bring in more hummingbirds. I've got so many, it's ridiculous how many hummingbirds are up in the mimosa trees, buzzing around the yard. But they really like the Pentas and the Lantanas, and another one, Salvia. Anytime you hear the word Salvia or sage, they're the same plant. So sage is the common name. Salvia is the botanical name. They're the same plant. They got that herbally scenty, kind of that sagey scent to it. And we cook with sage in the kitchen, but there's that family of plants. That's one of a very large family of plants. So the most famous, I sell 10-1 Salvia gregii or autumn sage to every edible sage. I sell a lot of edible sage, but this is a big landscape plant. Salvia or autumn sage is a knee-high plant. It's covered in red flowers, not always red. I've got a brand new blue one that's very interesting, purple, apricot, some whites with, I've got one called lipstick, which is a white flower, then red, looks like a fairy has taken white lipstick on the edge of each flower. They're all the same plant. the flower changes. That's it. This thing, knee-high, ball-shaped, and hummingbirds love them all. It's a perennial that comes back year after year. So we use it more like a landscape shrub than we do. I have it in some containers or raised beds, but you can put it right down the driveway and have it just lining, have these beautiful flowering plants. They are deciduous. That is, they lose their leaves in the winter. We just leave them alone. They'll disappear. You don't even see them. They're just twigs. And then usually in March, I'll go out and just kind of shape them. I don't cut them back very far, not like a perennial. I don't cut them to the ground. I kind of shape their knee-high form so they take more of a ball shaped. If you don't do anything, they'll take on this wilder look to it. They kind of range out, to run across the yard a little bit. Well, I don't mind that with some plants, but this one looks a little more formal looking because it's so short. I kind of want to keep proportionate. I'll have it about knee wide as knee high. And so I want it to have it look like it's just had a haircut, not just wild, mangy, need something going on here. So I clean it up in March, fertilize it with that 744 all-purpose plant food. I have just given all of my salvias, all the summer bloomers, some superphosphate, so 0,18,0. So I put both of those down when the summer hit. So all-purpose food and superphosphate, and everything is in stunning bloom. So the hummingbirds are really happy with all my pentas, all my lantanas, all my salvias or autumn sages. And you can have the same. It's a good time to plant those now. Be right back with more after this.
Butterflies bring magic to the garden, and attracting those winged wonders is easy with Water's Butterfly Plant Collection.
Water specializes in local plants and knows exactly which plants butterflies adore.
We create a natural, safe, and organic space for you and your beautiful butterflies.
Visit Water's Garden Center at 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
Or online at watersgardencenter.com.
Smell the flowers that butterflies love and turn gardens into a butterfly paradise.
The Top 10 Gardener, your source for timely garden advice seasonally correct for the garden. Guaranteed to make a difference in your yard this season.